thought he'd be.
Then you can go ahead and die.
Believing in each other, that's what makes us who we are. See you in hell! I need to get my act together.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the dramatic showdown finals. We have taken 8 of the best players from across the world who have made it through our online qualifiers to now duke it out here to determine who is the champion this year for the inaugural year of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I am Jake Ryan, joined by Ringe to cover all of the incredible action we're about to see, and I wouldn't have it any other way because we have an incredibly stacked roster here and representation from all across the globe. We're going to go take a look at our players right here. The top 8, as you can see, everybody's stoked to be in attendance. You've got Deadliest Spartan, Sirius Sword 24, Drastre Sparking, Cali Remy, Potato 7, Saru, GBG, and Blendian coming up to bat.
Yeah, we saw plenty of these players throughout the season for the dramatic showdown, right? All competing in Sparking Zero in their various qualifying events via their region, and it's been dope to watch them play and kind of just explode the game in general, right?
Oh, yeah.
They've definitely been able to crack it open, find out the different strategies that worked, and of course there's been some patches along the way, but a lot of these players have adapted to such patches. I'm interested in seeing what they bring to the table today, because obviously they're going to be able to pick one of their characters, but also one of their characters is determined via the qualifying event itself.
Exactly. So you can see on the screen here which region has qualified with which player, and I mean the power discrepancy on these can, leave, you to have some questions, because you're like, how is Trunks going to be able to compete against the likes of, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the UI signed Goku? And we have the format to go straight into that, because as you have earned all of these characters here across every single region, you see France, UK, Mexico, US West, Italy, Japan, Spain, and just Germany as well. Like, all of these regions across the world have earned these characters, but they have a little bit extra here too. You have a pick from the pool of 40 characters at your disposal. So a lot of favorites that we saw in the online qualifiers. Obviously, there's been some changes here or there, and a lot of power that you can pick from this pool to round out your roster. We got Dr. Wheelo looking menacing down there. I think Ginyu is a great pick in this type of format, because if you have somebody with a high BP character, if you're able to land the body swap, you're gonna feel pretty dang good. You got 2 big characters on your side now, so I think the mix match of your characters here with your preset fighter and your one from the pool is going to be a big proponent of how you succeed in this bracket.
Yeah, I like to see the Dr. Wheelo picks. We've seen that time and time again with the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Dramatic Showdown qualifiers. The character just doing massive amounts of work, of course. But the change in December definitely, toned him down a little bit. Normalized him quite some bit. But of course, beyond that, I like your choice for the Ginyu, right? Obviously, being able to swap the character is going to be a big proponent for anybody that's going to be rocking the character. But in general, we've seen some characters that have a whole lot of work. We saw Roshi, do a lot of work as well throughout the Sparking Zero qualifiers. The androids as well, who also got toned down a bit, right? We saw that they got nerfed when it comes to how much health they can steal. Their health doesn't actually regen anymore. It's more just a meter-based command grab. So all of that stuff is going to be coming into play when it comes to who they're going to choose for their other character besides their qualified preset, of course.
And on top of that, for the preset fighters, you do have the opportunity, if you have one of these certain characters, to slap a capsule onto them to give you that little bit of power boost to compete with the rest of the characters on the roster. So as you can see, the item breakdown here, the players are going to be able to pick one of these capsules to slap on, you know, Future Trunks, Super Baby 2, Golden Frieza, and, you know, Goku from Super Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct Goku, S Brawly, and you know, full power Super Saiyan. So Gogeta from Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Super Saiyan God, I don't think they need an extra boost.
Yeah, exactly.
So as you can see, their options, they don't get any capsules. Bulma did not show up to help out those two, and I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. So we're gonna see some interesting capsule choices here, which can really play into how these players approach the matchup. And this time, other than the qualifiers, it is actually a double elim the entire way through the bracket. So you do have 2 lives. They qualified in a single elim bracket, and now there is another chance for them if they do end up going to the loser's side. So you can see our bracket right here. This is how the players are going to be matched up. The first match of the day, Deadliest Spartan versus Serious Sword, and then following up, Drastre Sparking versus Cali Remy, and an incredible stack of characters off the top. And walk me through the bottom side, Ridge.
Yes, also Potato726, who qualified with the SS4 Gogeta, going up against Saru666, who qualified with the Future Trunks, who at the beginning of the game's lifespan was one of the premier characters, being able to nullify a lot of the metagame that players like to play, but since then it's kind of been normalized a little bit. And then of course we got a Super Saiyan Gold Gogeta on the GBG YouTube, who also is one of the premier players. I think one of the favorites coming into this event. He's a premier content creator for the game, going up against Blendian27 on the Super Baby 2. So I'm excited to see that one for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, all of these regions put on an incredible performance. I remember, you know, commentating the action, and Italy was one of my favorite regions to cover. And I mean, we're starting off with that representative here. So I'm curious to see exactly who they put on their roster from that pool of characters, what the strategy is going to be as we load in to our first matchup of the day. It is going to be Deadliest Spartan versus Serious Sword 24. And I mean, Serious Sword was able to qualify with a lot of that step-in tech from Trunks, which is like high execution but high reward to really nullify the Vanish War. You're not going to see that anymore, especially because he doesn't have Trunks at his disposal, but it's been taken out of the game.
Yeah.
So I want to see how Serious Sword is adapt, what they've prepared with their character, because there's been a lot of time. You've known what character you've had at your disposal, and you've had time to then optimize every strategy you could possibly had, because the format, it's not BP as we qualified with. It's these 2 characters. There's less time on the clock, so you're going to see a lot more action. You're not going to have that benefit of trying to, you know, stall out your opponent, constantly swap, constantly try to play the battle of attrition. It's the battle of hands. You got to scrap.
Yeah, 100% right. That's what we saw. I was going to say, like, the people that had the early on qualifiers, whether it be Mexico or the other regions like Italy, as you mentioned, they've had the benefit of being able to practice with their qualified character for quite some time, right? So we're going to see that from Deadliest Spartan, who's going to be rocking the Golden Frieza. That's what he qualified with. On the other hand, of course, Serious Sword already bringing the Super Broly to the table. It's going to be interesting to see as we get going in our Game 1.
Yeah, Serious Sword on the Frieza, Deadliest Spartan.
My bad, I got that mixed up, I see.
We're already seeing they are all in right now. Playing it a little bit patient with the perception. Trying to figure something out.
There might be some technical issues to start us off. Or maybe we're just waiting.
Yeah, we're figuring it out right now. Just make sure everything is working. Getting interrupted on the key charge. You're going to take a full string. Not able to find a break just yet. There's no Vanish timing. No super counters present. And there we go. Now we're in our first Vanish War back to back. Oh my God, did you see how he's zooming?
Yeah. Man, didn't have the GPS on lock for sure. That was not a straight line whatsoever from Golden Frieza. He got the halo above his head, though. He's seen the afterlife. He's trying to show Broly it as well.
Oh yeah, and had the perfect timing on the skill right there. And now we are in Sparking, so it's scary. You're going to take this whole string. Serious Sword has a huge opportunity, and he's not going for the Z-Burst dash here. But we found a way out using the revenge counter, just trying to create some space, burn out the rest of that Sparking time.
Yeah, try to take the disguise for now, but both players meeting in the middle. Making sure it's not going to be free for either side. The Louis Spartan, he tried to get his back, but not going to happen now. Serious Sword out here. Oh, so it was Dead Louis Spartan on the Golden Frieza. I was not mistaken. Gotcha.
Yeah, I got the names a little mixed up here. But now we're going for the tag, just trying to protect the life bar on the S Brawler. Dead Louis Spartan is also in a pretty bad position on the Frieza. Yeah, the back is getting beat up. Oh my
Chiropractor Frieza in the building right now. Oh, and again, the counters coming out left and right, making sure Bardock gains no ground.
And I like that we're seeing the Bardock as well, another character represented really well in the qualifiers. Just, you know, low cost, high utility, has that instant spark capability.
Precisely, right? That's what we're going to see a lot of today. Like, the characters that they actually get to choose are definitely going to have that instant spark ability where they can sacrifice 3 to 4 points to get the sparking bolt.
Super counter.
Oh my goodness, this Golden Frieza, he bleeding, bro.
And the Saiyan Surfer, the Frieza Slammer. I mean, this is the movie accurate matchup right here, and going straight into the Ginyu. Like I said, I expected to see the Ginyu because of the body swap potential, but he got scooped up again. The most violent throw in all of Dragon Ball history.
The giant swing, brother. Claudio would be proud, I'll say that much. Oh, he actually gets to the sparking, but Deadly Spartan's still getting pieced up.
I mean, this is what you want as Ginyu, right? Especially going for the body swap. You're okay to get as low as possible as long as you find the opportunity, but Serious Sword might not get a chance to fight back. He's getting completely battered. Ankles broken with the giant swing. And now you're one combo away, but he has a little bit left. If he connects this, he's going to take the body. Oh, it's all up to timing. Can you counter? He finds a way out.
Yeah, I was going to say, this was definitely the prime time to swap if you were able to, but great defense from Serious Sword.
Going for the perception, trying to find a way out, but not getting the timing correct. And now a Ki Blast loop, the revenge counter, and it takes Ginyu out. No body to be swapped. That's one character already down for Dead Louis Spartan. Serious Sword, like I said, was one of my favorites to go far in this bracket because his region was just so dang strong.
Yeah,
I think there was like a 19 super counter in a row from this guy.
I was gonna say, this is the Italian region.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredibly strong showing during the qualifiers. They look like one of the farthest along regions for having one of the earliest qualifiers as well. Yeah, both of these players, Dead Louis Spartan, he's trying to hold on to this Golden Frieza by any means necessary. He's got the back as well. Oh, but the shots ain't deep enough.
And it's the instant sparking that comes out from Serious Sword, utilizing all those skill points, and Dead Louis Spartan gets taken down by the charge Ki Blast. That's a first game for Serious Sword. The Bardock coming in so clutch, and the health management was just that much better, that much more effective. It just made it so hard for Dead Louis Spartan to really leave a mark on Serious Sword squad. And Frieza was bleeding. He didn't recover damn near anything.
That boy Frieza was a biting from start to finish right there. And we didn't even get to see the instant spark from Bardock, right? He was just handling business outright. It was definitely impressive showing so far. And yeah, that's the thing, right? These are only going to be 2 characters per team. Obviously, they're going to have some health bonuses via the items and whatnot. But beyond that, it's definitely going to be some quick matches because in addition to only having 2 characters, one of the changes that Sparking Zero had, I believe in the December patch, was that when you tag a player out or when you tag one of your teammates out, you don't actually build back as much life as you did previously during launch. So because of that, you got to be extra careful with how you manage each and every character's health bar.
Yeah, so you have less characters to really swap out and cycle. You've got less health that you're able to regen, and it becomes, that battle of attrition becomes that much harder. You have to be so cognizant of your character health. And we did get to see the Golden Frieza utilize the Wild Sense a little bit, which gave him some outs on those Vanish Wars and once the pressure got started. But we didn't get to see the instant sparking from Golden Frieza either. And like you said, the only time instant sparking came out from Bardock was when there was like a pixel of health, like only a quarter of bar.
Yeah.
It was kind of already over. It's like you can't really take this chip damage from the Ki Blast, so Godspeed, brother.
Yeah, 100%. It wasn't really a significant moment, but you're right. It did end up happening, so we'll see if the Bardock instant spark ends up rearing its head in this set.
Dude, I also love for the fact that the character interactions that you see between these two, he's trying to bargain with the likes of Broly. He's like, please, you're supposed to beat the Saiyans. I'm your boy, like just like the movie.
He said we should be tag team and not fighting each other,
yeah,
but
we're not supposed to be enemies. We're friends. I've been your guy forever. I love the Saiyans.
And do be what it be though. And then Louis Spartan already catching hands from his Super Broly out the jump.
And I love this movement here too. You see Serious Sword just like really goading Deadliest Spartan, not giving him like the direct path. You haven't seen really the Z burst dash just because of the cost of it, but another way to get out. You see the Wild Sense work out, and there's a lot of skill gauge on the side of Deadliest Spartan.
Oh my goodness, yeah, he was just catching his back constantly right there, and then Luis gonna go into the sparking mode.
When he tags out, I like this as well. Bardock is a huge damage sponge, and you're gonna start to be able to build up that instant sparking of your own and really buy that time. Even if you take a big lick of damage from Golden Frieza, you're not in the worst position, and the keep away game is successful.
Yeah, 100%, man, and then Luis Spartan, he's trying to find as much work as possible on this Golden Frieza before he tags out, but Serious Swords, Bardock looking very serious right now.
Yep, and we're at the wall here. Another revenge counter comes out from Deadliest Spartan. That skill gauge just evaporating. We saw the first 4 points get spent for that instant sparking, and that's another one of the changes, right? Now they cost more. It's a lot bigger of a resource to commit to, and if your opponent can run away successfully, you get to such a deficit because look at Frieza's life again. Almost at 1 health bar. Serious Sword is running rampant, and the Sonic Sway. Italy, the Italian stallion, is running on all cylinders.
And that's what we saw from Italy so many times, right? Whether it be the Sonic Sway, whether it be the super counters, whether it be the perception usage, all of that was super on deck for them. And Serious Sword looking at taking this Golden Frieza into the grave and does exactly that.
Took fate into his own hands, even though he was getting beat up pretty bad in that position against Deadliest Spartan. He wasn't able to leave a lasting impact, and now in sparking, you're going to see Rakim run away as much as he can. Another character that we saw so much in the qualifiers just because he is a beefy fella. He's got so much dang health. Look at this extension. 10K damage, 11K. Does the ultimate connect? Scream on him. This is so much damage if it hits.
Straight up.
And it does.
Vocals, he does. That's a whole life bar down on the side of Raccoon, and you still eat damage afterwards. Like, yeah.
26K, and that is only 2 life bars left. Now Serious Sword is working on building up that next instant sparking for Bardock. Willing to just play this time. It's going to be a lot of damage on him here. Now you get the buff up.
And Raccoon is tattered. Yeah, he's got his defense up a little bit. He could have used that before the super came.
Look at the movement. See that, dude? He just zoomed right on down. He completely completes the circuit, finds the back, but not able to get a key blast loop going. Again, dude. Serious Sword?
Look at this, bro. He just wants that back. His movement has been immaculate so far, but we finally get the Sonic Sway out. And Luis Spartan hanging on for dear life, bro. It's not going to happen. He said, oh, this is my favorite position. Oh, never mind. That Luis Spartan actually able to interrupt that.
And the way that he is creating and maintaining this space, he's so slippery. He's untouchable. He's been able to consistently find the back so many times and create this situation. He went for the taunt mid-combo. Unbelievable. Serious Sword has to sneak in the BM, has to sneak in that last hit, and it is a clean finish. The Bardock looks untouchable, and Italy comes out on top. Serious Sword was my favorite to go far in this bracket.
Okay.
That is a statement game. It's like you didn't get to utilize any of the strengths of Golden Frieza, and your 2 pool picks were ineffective. Like that was a masterclass. Oh, man.
Yeah, 100% just ran him over right there and trying to fit in the taunt in between. You ever seen a frame kill with a taunt, Jake Riot? That's some new stuff right there. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Dramatic Showdown. We out here, and as you mentioned, Italy was one of the premier regions that we saw during the qualifiers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in terms of how advanced they were, how quickly, it seemed like they were ahead of a lot of other regions. And Serious Sword has kept up that practice, has implemented the new adjustments that he needs to it. I mean, man's looking serious out here. And yeah, you can see that Luis Spartan kind of falling back on the Raccoon, but as you mentioned, Raccoon is very much a value pick in the standard when you play Sparking Zero online, right? He's very low cost. He's got a lot of high health for him. But in this instance where you're only picking 2 characters, you're getting items to buff up the health. I don't know how good Raccoon is in this situation.
Yeah,
you know?
and like ineffective utilization too. He never got to instant spark, and we're going to get to see the bracket here now. So we have seen Serious Sword 24 move on to the semifinals here. That Brawly was cooking, and the Bardock in the back is always one to be relied upon. And we saw you know, just incredible performances of him qualifying and getting to this position. You know, we still will get to see Deadliest Spartan a little bit later in losers. They'll be awaiting their opponent, but again, resounding performance there from the Brawly. And the comfortability, because he didn't play that character in the qualifiers, and it looked like it was right at home.
Yeah, man.
And now, this next match that we have coming, yeah, like I said, we see Deadliest Spartan waiting for that gruesome losers bracket. The Sharks are on their way. the next match, you know, Drastray Sparking versus Cali Remy is going to be great. France versus Japan.
Yeah, exactly. Two of the premier regions when it comes to Dragon Ball gaming. Straight up, if you're a follower of fighters, you know two premier regions in this game. Two of the most fanatic when it comes to Dragon Ball IP. So it's going to be a great one as well. Again, what's the Drastray?
Drastray
Sparking, yeah, going to be representing France, right? That's going to be a sick one. And Cali Remy, honestly, Japan was one of the regions I enjoyed watching the most. Like, they really brought their own unique flair and flavor to the Sparking Zero qualifier. So it's going to be interesting seeing these two regions clash.
Yeah, and you're going to see the UI Goku and Gotenks represented. And I believe it's the UI Goku sign, so you're not in the full power version just yet. So you still have access to, I believe, one of the items. So you can slap that onto the UI Goku. And, I mean, you still have the ability to power up, right?
Yeah.
Like, that becomes that much more threatening because UI Goku is so dang strong. And you didn't really get to see him in a lot of the qualifiers because it just limited your ability to add more characters.
Precisely.
It wasn't the meta at the time. But now, when everything has changed, it's like, okay, he's back. Like, this guy is potent, and it's going to be really difficult to fight. Gotenks, still an incredible character in his own right, has had the unblockable as well, so you have to be looking out for that. Your timing has to be great on your vanishes, and I want to see whoever can get momentum first, because that was a quick match. I don't think we're getting any timeouts today.
Yeah,
I'm stoked.
100%, and that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to with this dramatic showdown finale is the fact that there's not going to be a lot of the strats where it's like I'm putting as many characters, switching out constantly, right?
The boys.
Really, yeah, exactly.
Adele, get in there.
Yeah. That's not what's happening today. We're going to have the qualified character that the region qualified with, in addition to one of the 40 characters you saw choosable, selectable, I should say, into the match itself. So it's going to be a lot of hard hitting, a lot of trying to get into the opponent's face and just make sure their life bar depletes before yours.
Exactly, and it's going to be so great, and it's going to come down to all the reaction checks. We didn't see a lot of super counters. We did get to actually get out a serious sword. There was a couple moments where it felt like Deadliest Spartan was able to finally get some momentum, and he's like, nah, dude, I got the reactions. I'm pretty sick like that. Let's shut this down. We're not going to play that game, and it just wasn't answered in turn. So hopefully we get to see that same level from Drastray Sparking and Cali Remy, because, you know, French is an incredibly strong region here too. I'm curious of the tech that Drastray Sparking has been able to put together, because their reactions were also top-notch, top tier. It's going to be a treat to see. But yeah, like you said, Japan, they're a little different. Like their region, 100%. I think, was the most different compared to every other region.
100%, man. It was really cool to actually call that region itself. Like, we just got to see a different flair, a different flavor of a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero coming out of that region, right? Definitely being able to take their own unique stance on this, and you can see how Cali Remy is going to try to represent that flair here in the dramatic showdown finale. Again, all of them are starting in winner's side, so that's a good look, right? They're going to have 2 lives each to try to get this done, and Cali Remy obviously going to be looking to advance in the winner's side. Everybody doesn't want to sacrifice their life until they most definitely have to, so it's going to be interesting to see these 2 titans when it comes to Dragon Ball regions duke it out in Sparking Zero.
You know, I kind of like the format for this event too, because once we get to the loser side, it's straight up Dragon Ball rules. Like, you die once, Shenron brings you back, you get 1 shot. It's the original. Purunga ain't around. Like, we got to make sure we're relying on our boy Shenron, right? He's helping us out, trying to unlock the characters, saying hi to everybody at home. Like, you're here, you earned it. It's incredible. We're getting ready.
That's one thing that's really cool about the dramatic showdown and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, right? Is because we obviously had the Dragon Ball Fighters top 8 earlier, and a lot of those players are used to being in the spotlight when it comes to fighting game tournaments and fighting game streams, right? Yeah. Obviously, I think Legendary Muffin was talking about how this is the first time he's flown anywhere. So obviously, not everybody is accustomed to this, but the players that we saw, Hikari, Inza, Mado, etc., definitely have been sowing their wild oats around the world and have gotten a lot of global exposure. These players, not so much, right? Sparking Zero isn't on that tip that Dragon Ball Fighters is. So getting to see these players be in an international stage, flown out to California to compete for the game that they've been grinding for. It's dope, man. They might catch a bug and get into other fighting games as well.
Exactly. It's the opportunity of a lifetime that should be celebrated, and it's what makes you know, this IP in this game so great for these competitors. The fact that they have this stage to show what they prepared, what they've been working on, and you know, their regional style, their regional flair. And I mean, everybody here has absolutely earned their spot, and I'm stoked to see them really shine and show us what the future of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is, especially after we've had adjustments. I mean, there's DLC on the horizon. We already have seen a couple things for Daima. Like, I want to see what else is in store, right? Because Dragon Ball's never stopping. It is eternal, right? He's called the Eternal Dragon for a reason.
100%. And we've already seen, you know, I was going to say pun unintended, but it kind of is intended because I realized before saying it. But we've seen some dramatic changes in the gameplay already, right? Being able to lessen the health regen from when you get tagged out. And just in general, a lot of the things that were extremely powerful upon launch in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero have been toned down and normalized to make sure that the playing field is a bit more even than when the game launched. So a lot of these players have had to adjust their strats, have had to adjust their lineups to make sure that they're still at optimal performance for something like this. The dramatic showdown in an offline environment is going to be different from anything they've experienced before.
Yeah, and I mean, that's where you really can see these players shine or crumble under the pressure. It's a mark of a true competitor, and having this be your first opportunity, your first foray into the offline environment, it's got to be something that you don't want to waste the chance, right?
Yeah, 100%, right? So again, Drashtray Sparking on the left, the French representative, going up against Cali Remy, the Japan representative, over on the right side. Is going to be very interesting, making sure that all of our technical issues are sorted and talking to the TOs and whatnot to make sure we get optimal games here for the dramatic showdown. That's what we all want, of course. No matter what the game is, we all want players playing at their most optimal, so making sure that's going to be taken care of before actually launching into the game proper.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how the Gotenk skills are utilized too here, because you have paralysis, you have the ability, like the stats buff as well, so a lot to think about as we go into it. And we're going straight into the game here. Gotenks versus UI Sign, and you can see the health differential here, which is why UI Sign is such a strong proponent.
Yes.
Yeah, again, look at the movement, trying to meander his way around the Ki Blast, but the super counter immediately coming out. Uh-oh. Oh, again? Yeah.
Man, Gotenks be talking that smack. He a young bull, right? So he's not afraid to disrespect his elders, telling them stupid and all that, but of course, immediately countering that process. And I love the movement coming out as well from Cali Remy.
Yeah. Oh, and the Sonic Sway immediately from Cali Remy as well has already, deleted the life advantage that you typically would expect. And there is Raccoon. Big ol' reliable. My man's got instant spark. He's got all the health in the world. You're about to take the instant sparking and the full buff from UI Sign Goku. You are in trouble if he's able to land this full combo. And that's why you just see Cali Remy trying to block it out, utilizing the revenge counter, doesn't want to entertain any of this sparking pressure.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to gather himself some breathing room, just time out the sparking by any means necessary right there, and does so successfully. So at least he gets out of the range of, getting supered or anything like that.
Oh, and the ankles have been broken back to back. Gonna get a little bit more key in the tank.
Oh, my man, swivel them hips, swivel them hips. Ooh, Snoo Day style. We got into the sparking as well. He's trying to come for his neck.
That's right, chasing him down now. It's the Raccoon on Raccoon, trying to find an opportunity to utilize the ultimate, but the ankles have been broken, and now
that grand slash, that low, right? You gotta definitely be careful.
I like
that.
this.
Exactly, the grand slash low into the ultimate blast. You're gonna have to hold this, bruh. Explosion.
Mad damage here. Great pickup from Cali Remy to establish the life lead, and immediately going back to the Gotenks, trying to put a little bit more hurt on, especially because Gotenks has that extra skills, and you might be able to go for a paralysis here, but the super counter gets you right out of that poor situation. Tags into the UI Goku, about to be in sparking of his own. Oh no!
But that's just sparking and the sparking of UI, brother. Oh, wait a minute, the Sonic Sway, get off me. Best believe, give me some room right here. He's gonna try to keep applying this pressure. He wants to make the most happen while in sparking mode, but Cali Remy's doing a great job evading upon evading.
Yeah, evade in square formation. Gotta make sure that the shapes are in check.
Did you say evasion squared? That's how it is, brother. He's got double evasion skills. Most definitely, that's what it's looking like from Cali Remy right now. He's got 4 skill points as well if he wants to start popping off. But oh no, oh no, Ki Blast is gonna back the shots. They fierce.
Boom, boom, it's doing it again. That was 12K off the top. We're gonna see another almost 12K, and it hits again. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
No, that's cannon as hell.
And the super counter Gotenks. You both my children as far as I'm concerned. You ain't gonna do nothing to UI Goku.
You're about to get sunned. And right now, Cali Remy, with almost only 1 life bar left, going back to the Raccoon, trying to stabilize, trying to stent the damage, get a little bit more in the tank. And it is looking good. Wiggle, wiggle once again from Raccoon, but the instant spark comes through. The Sonic Sways have been 3 for 3. It is Cali Remy really showing some consistency on defense.
I really like this, right? It's what you come to expect out of Japan as a region in general. Always fundamentally solid, and of course the defense has been super on point to say the least.
Yeah, and not able to get all the super counter timings down. So you see a couple back-to-back, and it's so hard to get that timing every single time, especially with the changes to Vanish. It gets faster and faster and faster, so your timing has to be even more precise, which is what players wanted. You want it to become more difficult. You don't want it to be monotonous. And I mean, you're seeing players get punished for that now. Cali Remy in a dangerous position. Gotenks is bleeding.
Man, Cali Remy definitely getting knocked across the face right now by the UI Goku. He's in sparking as well. You gotta be careful. He's gonna have the ultimate blast at the ready if he so chooses, and with the health remaining on Gotenks, that is in the grave if it connects. Right now, he's immediately able to counter. Doesn't want to keep eating this damage, but I mean, Draste sparking. He's just staying like a bulldog right now, trying to stay in his face. Gotenks is down 6 feet under.
The Chiquita bananas have been peeled.
No.
They're done for. Shoutouts to Yipes. And now, Draste gets the sparking. Once again, not the instant sparking this time around, so you're not going to see all the buffs here.
I know Yipes would appreciate a call out for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
100% right here.
And now, just trying to create that space. Doesn't want to deal with the sparking. Cali Remy, if he takes a full combo from Draste, you're dead. Like, you have to utilize your revenge counter to get out of this situation. But the super counters coming in clutch so far, but only one is not going to be enough. He's bleeding. He's falling apart. Help!
Help, man, please. 911 on speed dial right now, because Draste sparking is just all over Cali Remy. Close to closing it out as well. Oh, and the key blast back shots to take the first game.
Yeah, and it was just so much damage that UI Goku is able to output in that position. Dude hits the back pose too. Put the symbol.
Ooh, pardon my back though. Shout outs Killer Season. You already know.
But yeah. Great first showing from Draste sparking, just yielding so many damage off those situations, creating that that back turn situation after the giant swing, the grand slash so consistently. And I mean, even though you had the extra health from Raccoon, even though you had the instant sparking of your own, the evasion from both sides was so potent. So really great performance so far. The Gotenks wasn't really able to get much done. We never got to see the stat buff or the paralysis put on display. All of it was used defensively, right? So
yeah, most definitely the skill points in that instance were definitely used to try to just stay alive as long as possible, right? Both players very confident in their offense, but once somebody got rolling, got snowballing, it really didn't stop. It ended up kind of gaining into an avalanche, and that's what we saw on the side of Drastic sparking going up against Cali Remy. We saw some good evasion from Cali Remy in the beginning, right? Being able to save his characters, get the tag outs and whatnot. But as we mentioned, there's been patches in the game that has reduced the amount of health you regen while tagged out. So even when you do get one character out of the danger zone, it's not going to be for long.
Dude, I also want to say, just looking at the players, Draste is so happy to be here, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I love. Like, the fact that he's like, yep, I'm going to show all my skill, all my tech on the grandest of stages. You gotta feel great about that. Cali Remy wants to show that Japan is no slouch either. The super counters have been on point, but they are falling short from time to time, where Draste is just eking out this extra damage.
Yeah,
Oh, did you see that? He just kind of zoomed all the way around. That's gonna be another 12K off the top, but didn't get the full confirm.
little sidestep grand slash type B, yeah, 100%. And to your point about Cali Remy, right, wanting to represent Japan, I mean, that is the mecca of fighting games, right? A lot of people consider Japan the motherland when it comes to any and all fighting games, so definitely trying to put on for the home country. But right now, we talked about Drastic sparking at France. They might love Dragon Ball even more than Japan, fam.
Yeah, I mean, dude, France loves Dragon Ball. Everybody loves Dragon Ball. All the regions in the world. It is a hot commodity, and right now, Raccoon is in a rough position. 3 super counters. Gives him a moment, but I mean, all you did was burn a little bit more of that sparking time, and it's not that big of a loss for Draste.
Yeah, 100% right now, Draste, even with the sparking out, he just actually gets into sparking again, shows him the key charge, and is like, if you can stop me, please show me, because so far you haven't been able to.
Yeah, and these charge key blasts are just peppering Cali Remy, and even when you try to get through, I mean, the Sonic Sway gives you a brief moment. It's so hard to keep UI Goku locked down. Draste in a great position. Whew. The way he just moves, it's the anime all over again. He is just sliding on in, sliding on out. You can't touch this guy.
I was gonna say, I love the UI Goku just nonchalant dodges, right? That's one of the sickest things about this character. He's so nonchalant. He sees everything in slow motion, and even the animations represent that. But now we got Raccoon on Raccoon violence. Oh, is this gonna hit though?
Yeah, I think he might have recovered from the slash. So even though the legs have been broken, we'll see here in the animation. He actually got caught still. He did try to vanish, but I think he missed the timing. So good stuff from Cali to get that swap out as well. The sparking works out.
100%. Dryzen sparking. Sticking with the Raccoon right now. Tattered. Dude. From War, but right now he's going to bring in his UI Goku, the character that he earned via qualifying out of the French region.
You saw the Wild Sense spent there with the 2 points, which allows him to build up the rest of that key, and now we're back in sparking. If you get hit by one key blast loop here, you actually just die as Cali Remy, and that's what we might just see. That's why you see the revenge counter finally come out. Cali Remy trying to find an opportunity.
That boy was playing fishing with that key blast loop 100%. Oh, he's going to be able to get the back for a little bit right here. Oh my goodness, sending him head over heels literally right now, taking a whole lot of life in the process. But right now, Cali Remy still managed to hold on to the gold taste, but it doesn't look like it's going to be for long. Counters up the combo, trying to evade, trying to get out, but it's not going to happen. Key blast to the face to finish off the character.
There was no moment for relief, no moment to escape, just peppered by the key blast to even stop the idea of potentially tagging out. Drastray Sparking is on a tear, and it's going to be another charge. Key blast loop. We see Raccoon absolutely melting under the pressure. Again, we've broken the back, full extension, trying to find a way to escape. Cali Remy's odds are quickly slipping away.
For real, Drashay Sparky. I didn't know you liked Snoop Dogg's album this much, fam. This is definitely the preferred position. But right now, he's going to have to go face-to-face. Not for long, though. Cali Remy able to escape, but he's only got so much life to work with. I don't know how long he's going to be able to hold on. We'll see Drastic Sparking even getting his own Raccoon in, not afraid to sacrifice this character when he's got UI Goku in the back.
Yeah, and I mean, Drastray, he just has to win this Vanish War. He just has to find a way to get the hit. But I mean, there's a key disadvantage, so now it's all going to be super counters. And that's all he has as opposed to that's two.
And again, I mean, Cali Remy's doing a great job right now, fighting for his dear life. He's got a whole lot of life bars to go through with not much health to do it in. So it's a long shot for the mans, but this could be, never mind. I was gonna say one of the greatest comebacks we've ever seen in any Dragon Ball game, but right there, Jurassic Sparking able to close it out 2-0 and move on into the winner side of things. Waves high to all the folks at home and poses on them for good measure. That's what we love to see here in the Dragon Ball World Tour.
The fearsome Frenchman has made it happen. Drastray Sparking once again showing us why they were such a strong contender in the French region and really making the most of the time on stage, understands like how big of a thing this is. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to be here and is loving every moment of it. Yeah. That's the type of energy we want to see. So shout outs to you, Drastray. I'm glad you are loving the spotlight and you are really making every moment count because that gameplay spoke for itself.
I love that you highlighted that, right? It wasn't just about in-game. It wasn't just about giving a little fist pump. He posed on him, right? And that's something that everybody at home wants to see. They like the showmanship. And in addition to that, hey, if you're looking for any sponsors or any deals going forward, you got to show that personality. So I love that from Drashay Sparking, representing France as well, as we talked about, one of the premier regions when it comes to Dragon Ball games, and he's been showing out proper.
Absolutely, and I mean, now we have our bracket properly developing here. We have seen
this segue.
Absolutely, dude. I'm riding all day, every day. And Sirius Sword has ridden their way straight to semi-finals winner side to fight against Drastray Sparking. This is a dream match of mine because these players are both so good in their respective regions. It is going to be a battle of the Titans. And I mean, power level wise, this is a lore matchup that you want to see all day, every day. It is going to be the S Brawly fighting it out against the UI Goku. But in the bracket that we still have to determine for the other side of winner semi-finals. It's going to be incredible, but losers has been determined. Deadliest Spartan versus Cali Remy, and one of these players is unfortunately going to go home 0-2, going to go home without being able to get a win for the region. So Mexico versus Japan?
I'm so glad that you also call it Deadliest Spartan because, like, that is not the... I didn't realize that until you said it. Like, I didn't realize that he was actually punning the Luis with the... That's actually a hard bar right there.
Luis,
big ups. The Deadliest Spartan, a.k.a. the Luis Spartan. That is definitely super sick right there. But
it's bars.
Yeah, it literally is bars. So definitely a big fan of that, of course. But as you mentioned, we're still going to be making our way through the winner side of the bracket, which is going to be Potato 726 versus Saru 666 gang.
Yeah, I mean, we got numbers on number violence right here. We are trying to duke it out. Potato, one of my favorite meals.
Oh, okay.
And he's playing my favorite
Very
character.
versatile.
Yeah, very versatile. And he's got a very versatile character. He's got the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Like my favorite character design in all of like Dragon Ball.
Sick, bro.
He's so cool.
It's so sick.
Like,
I actually felt better about being a big fan of that when I found out Giuna was a big fan of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I was like, Giuna's certified when it comes to anything anime in Japan. So I was like, I feel good about liking that character.
He's been my favorite from day one. I think I've drawn the most pictures of that character. I'm like, he's just the coolest. He's got the vest. He's got the swagger. He poses on you. He's confident. He only loses to himself, not others. Like, because he's playing around. And I mean, he's having too much fun. That's one of the things that is so cool about the character. He's going to be duking it out against Saru666. And I mean, to duke it out against Gogeta Super Saiyan 4, having, I believe it is the Trunks at your disposal,
Yes, sir.
It's going to be one hell of a task, right?
100%, man. Potato 726, if I'm not mistaken, going to be representing Spain, while Saru representing America. That's going to be, I believe, the countries at duel here in this the third match overall for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the dramatic showdown. So this is going to be a good one. This is very much a global affair, right? We had global qualifiers leading into this event from all over the world, whether it be the countries that you saw before, like Mexico and Italy. We got France and America as well. Japan, obviously, represented. In addition to that, we have the UK coming up in a little bit with GBG. Everybody well represented. A true global affair for the Sparking Zero finale.
And that's what you want to see, right? That's what's so special about fighting games. That's what's so special about Dragon Ball is it's worldwide. Like, you show anybody a picture of Goku, they know Goku. They know.
But did you see the clip of, I can't remember where it was from. It might have been the UK. I think it was somewhere in Europe where there was a political figure on a talk show and they were like, what's your favorite like cartoon character? And she was like, Goku. And they were like, who's Goku?
It's like, how dare you?
And she was like, that's your problem that you don't know who Goku is. You're the one messing up. So you already know Dragon Ball definitely worldwide popularity, one of the most popular IPs, period, when it comes to anything across all media. So you already know these players are going to be playing with a lot of pride.
Yeah, man, I'm very much looking forward to how, you know, the rivalries that get developed after this region to region. And I mean, I think it's a great fit that, you know, Potato from the West Coast is representing the Gogeta 4. Like, I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so glad that the West Coast got my favorite character of all time. Every single game he's been in, he has been sick. So seeing that back on display is going to be incredible. Saru has a big, big opportunity to show everyone the power of Trunks, even in, you know, that, you know, reduced state. You don't have the step-in counter for Vanish, but you do have the extra capsule capability. You get to choose from every single type of capsule. You can get the almighty boost. Like, it's pretty dang good. That's a lot of stats.
Pretty good, that's all I'm saying. What's your favorite part about Gogeta 4? Like, design-wise, like aesthetically? Obviously, I'm taking the actions that have happened in the anime out of the equation. I'm talking pure aesthetically. Is it the fact that he gets to keep the tail? Because we don't get to see a lot of Super Saiyans obviously keep the tail, the vest, the eye makeup. That's probably my favorite part, honestly, is the eye makeup itself. So I'm just saying, bro, what's yours?
It's the Primal Saiyan look. Like, he's got every single aspect of what I would imagine like a top-tier full power Saiyan to be. It's like, that's the guy. Yeah, exactly. That's your gold medalist. That's your #1 Saiyan. You're trying to be that guy. And that is Gogeta 4. He's the combo of the Prince and the GOAT.
I mess with your taste, Jake Ryan. We talked about it before. We have a whole lot of similar taste across fighting game characters that we prefer, and of course Gogeta 4 at the top of that list right there. So I'm excited to see him in full-fledged action. Of course, on the other hand, Saru666 and of course the Trunks has been a deadly character. I'm interested to see who he pairs with Trunks, because obviously Trunks, he feels like a bit on the lower end compared to a lot of these characters that you qualified with. So he might be putting somebody on the team that's very well stacked, or maybe the Ginyu, as you alluded to earlier, just to steal that qualified character from his opponent.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard, too, because if you try to go for, like, the giant that is available, Dr. Wheelo.
Oh, boy.
Dr. Wheelo struggles against anybody who has a higher BP, who has a higher power level, and the highest of power levels is, Gogeta 4. He's right there. Like, you don't want to pick against that guy. Like, he will absolutely just guard crush you. You will be stuck in loop after loop after loop. It is not a great time, but we're going to work on getting connected here.
We're just making sure that we get all of our technical issues ironed out, so to speak, before we actually get into the match. This is, of course, the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the dramatic showdown, which means it is the finality, the World Tour conclusion, if you so will, for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And because of that, we want to make sure no flubs or any type of technical nonsense gets in the way of these players looking to achieve their ultimate W. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, this is the culmination of all of the qualifiers that we ran throughout the year. This is the culmination of these players' years, and buttons are being checked. We're making sure everything is set up, and we're doing everything today. We are going through the entirety of the top 8. You're going to see every single match today, and we're going to see these players show every single look that they have at their disposal to try and get that first place spot, to get their hands the ultimate prize, that championship. Yeah,
exactly. We're going to see all the various qualified characters today as well. We already saw the Golden Frieza. We're going to be able to see the SSJ4 Gogeta as well in a little bit right here once we get this match started. So yeah, man, it's going to be interesting as well. Of course, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. If you haven't been exposed to the game before, they got everybody you could want.
Everybody.
In Dragon Ball. In a Dragon Ball game, if there's anybody that you ever wanted to play as, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has you covered. As you can see right here, the 8 champions and the 8 characters qualified for the event. So one of the first matches we saw, we obviously saw Mexico with the Golden Frieza, Japan as well with the Gotenks. In addition to that, we saw France represent the UI Goku, and there's so many more characters to come. Obviously, we're going to get Spain right here with the Trunks as well. It's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, Germany has the Super Baby 2, and we didn't get to see that character throughout like the entirety of the qualifiers because he's just such a high cost. He's a very strong character. We actually got to see one of our other commentators, which you'll be seeing later today. Tyrant loves playing the Super Baby 2.
He does. He does. He wants to transform into the gorilla.
Yeah, he does the Super Baby 2 Kefla combo. Like he just loves that squad. Puts Videl on there as well. I mean, there's a lot of character representation here. You obviously have the Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God, Gogeta for the UK. So it's really funny the UK gets that character, but in Dragon Ball FighterZ, that's a French classic.
Yeah, that's true. That's a
classic. So
100%, man.
Really love everything we have here. And again, the 40 characters that these players are choosing from, a wide array available to them. And we've already seen the Raccoon. We've seen the Bardock put on display. We've also seen the Ginyu. It didn't really achieve the strategy. No body was acquired. He was only bagged up real quick. So I really want to see what everybody is presenting here. We saw a 5 Cybermen team in the qualifiers too, making pretty dang far. So Cybermen can put in some work. It was sick. It was sick. He recharges hella fast.
I wanted to bring that up, honestly. Seeing the full 5 Cybermen squad team plus like one other character it was actually one of the Super 6 strats that we got to see. We saw a lot of Spopovich as well during the qualifiers, right? You can see Spopovich, obviously one of the characters selectable. But I want to bring up Roshi because Roshi is one of the only characters actually available in this selection that has that transformation, right? That can go from, skinny old man Roshi to buff HGH Roshi. And they obviously got 2 different pros and con lists when it comes to what their characters do well. The skinny Roshi obviously has some skill blasts that are unblockable, that are very difficult to avoid. And then the buff Roshi just in general has really good damage output once he actually gets to tag you. So I'm really interested to see if anybody actually adds that Roshi to their squad. I think that's one of the most valuable characters you can add in this grand finals.
Yeah, it's all about the buffs, the instant spark. And I mean, also, the after image is so hard to deal with. It does cost more, though, now, so you have to consider that. And, I mean, Yajirobe on release, incredibly strong. We did see some adjustments there, so the sense will be not as impactful as it is before. I've seen players online get to, the highest rank. They've got a Z rank with all of these